You didn't know he
Don't worry about it. It's just locker room talk.
Welcome back, everyone, to what the press is calling the world's greatest hockey talk show. This is Locker Room Talk. I am one of your co-hosts, GamerDoc, joined by the ever-talented Eleni. Eleni, it's been 2 weeks since we've last seen each other. Some stuff has happened in the hockey world. Do you care to fill us in?
Yeah, so kind of one of the biggest things people are talking about right now is the Six have been out there hiring a lot. And they have not just been hiring anybody. They hired Christy Clark as GM, and then they hired Angela James as their assistant coach. They are simply raiding the ranks of qualified Black women, as they should be, because truly there's not enough representation. And both of these women are beyond qualified for the roles that they've been brought in for. I think Christy Clark also works in soccer, which is really cool. Do they call it football in Canada? I'm not sure. I'm calling it soccer because that's what it is here. Well, I guess they're in Toronto. But anyway, it's soccer to me. I think it's really cool to have that crossover. I think Toronto should have an NWHL team. I think she seems like she's really passionate about it, and she's got a lot of ideas. And I'm sure everyone's really excited to have someone on board that's like, got a plan. Like, she feels like she's really got a plan to me. And then, Angela James is Angela James.
So with these new hires, out of 6 teams, where's Toronto going to end up at the end of the season?
I guess my instinct is to say they're going to be like in the top 3 somewhere, but it really depends on their ability to attract talent. And they haven't signed a lot of players yet. You would think Angela James is your assistant coach. Who wouldn't want to play there? And maybe that'll be the case, but because they haven't announced anyone, I kind of want to shy away from saying like, well, obviously they're going to be really good. They did sign Megan Barris though.
I didn't listen to anything you were saying because when I asked you what place they would be, you literally took a 50-50 chance. The top 3. You said the top 3. There's a 50% chance 50% of the league. They would. That's a 50. You have guessed the equivalent of luck.
And that's how hockey works. Hockey is a game of skill. It's a game of grit. And above all, winning a cup has so much to do with luck, especially in a league where you don't get series, you don't get playoff series, you get playoff games. So if the Beaut's puck luck had been better and Carly Jackson was being Carly Jackson, they would have been in the final, right? It's one game, it's luck.
Carly Jackson was being Carly Jackson.
Yeah, but their puck luck wasn't there. You see what I mean? It was bad luck.
I feel like they just got like rated or something at the end.
It's 20% luck, 10% skill,
20% concentrated power of will.
I don't know the song. I'm sorry. I would love to rap with you sometime.
And 100% reason to remember the name. Locker Room Talk. Coming to you live Tuesday nights.
I was going to say Carly Jackson, but that's fine.
All right. Well, so you got anything else for me about the coaching staff?
About the coaching staff, I think we're just going to have to wait and see how it shakes out. I can't imagine it's going to go badly. How could it? I think if nothing else, it really shows.
What could Toronto possibly do wrong?
It really shows the commitment. The team is making a commitment to diverse hires, to hiring women, to hiring people who are qualified, and to hiring the kind of people who you want to play for. So, hopefully that bears out in who they're able to recruit and how they're able to coach them. And I think we'll see them, kick some butt this year.
We'll see them in some sort of percentage chance that.
They will be playing hockey games, and there is a chance that they will win them.
1 out of 1 doctors agree. In other news, so we talk a lot about professional leagues. We talk a lot about ice hockey, but there exists other types of hockey. The USA team is running some camps for street hockey, for ball hockey. So if you're interested in trying out for the street hockey or ball hockey team, they have camps coming up in Anaheim and in Boston in the next 2 months. They got silver last year at Worlds, and so trying to take gold this year. It's going to be in Canada in June of 2022, if that's something you guys are interested in. Also, amateur league. Amateur. So what happens when you play hockey and you grow up and you can't play hockey at the NWHL anymore? You join another team, and one of those teams is the Chesapeake Bay Lightning. They faced off in the Dallas championship, trying to take home the ultimate treasure, the Boot Cup. And it was a 2016 Whale v. Riveters recap, if you will. You had Amber Moore, Ashley Johnston, Emily Fartelman facing off against Colleen Murphy. And luckily enough, Eleni, this is, I know you're gonna be surprised, but we actually had one of our reporters catch up with them just before they left for the tournament.
We have reporters?
We have it was a special field report.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So
I would say this might be the best Lightning in the world. The best Lightning hockey team maybe ever.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't break any cups. Oh no, they did break the cup. They did break the cup. That's funny. That's funny.
But is it flat?
That's funny. Oh wow.
It is funny.
If you didn't see it, everyone, go look at Twitter because Tampa Bay broke the Stanley Cup. Lord Stanley is down and needs some milk. But anyways, let's go over to reporter Laura Croft for this special news segment. Chesapeake Bay Lightning were formed in 1993 and are the DC area's only semi-professional women's ice hockey team. They practice weekly and travel across the country, training for the national championship of a seriously good beer league. We checked in with them just a few days before they were headed to Dallas in hopes of bringing home a trophy that makes Lord Stanley look like a discarded bottle cap on the bottom of the San Antonio River.
I'm doing a car wash today, so come on down and get your car washed. A car wash for the Chesapeake Bay Lightning.
Former Riveters Ashley Stretch Johnston and Amber Moore are among those hopeful to bring home the boot trophy, as well as some other people. As players aim to clean up those dusty Toyotas the same way they were going to dust up the Dallas competition, fans and supporters lined the streets.
No, and I think it's going to be a terrible car wash, but
Sponsorships at this level are few and far between, so events like this make the travel, ice fees, and occasional broken stick possible. So despite the heat, they kept their eyes on the prize.
So we can go win tournaments. Raise some money for us to go win some tournaments. For that, I don't know, what are we doing it for?
And win some they did. CBL left Dallas with the boot and an undefeated 4-0 record. You could say that CBL is putting their money
We're gonna bring home the boot!
where their mouth is. This is reporter Laura Croft signing off. Back to you. That reporter's kind of hot.
You can't say that.
I'm pretty sure this is the one time that I can say that, and no other time is that acceptable. So I'm just gonna keep it on the record.
Speaking of Tomb Raider, our guest today is no stranger to finding treasure in dark places. Taylor Accursi, all-star, Buttes all-time leading scorer, and our guest tonight on Locker Room Talk.
Taylor, welcome to Locker Room Talk.
Thanks for having me, guys. Pumped to be here.
Thanks for being here. So Lake Placid, 2021, the NWHL decides we don't want to not play during COVID, so we're going to do a bubble season. But as we're getting towards the bubble, noticeably absent is one very important component of the Buttes, you. What happened there?
I mean, long story short, I did everything in my power to get there. My policing service wouldn't allow me to go. They wouldn't allow me to cross the border and participate, which was super unfortunate. And I'm still a little bit, upset that I couldn't be there, because that was obviously quite the opportunity for girls to go and play there. So I'm still a little upset that I couldn't go, but I'm bringing that energy into this upcoming season. So
yeah, I love that. Did you watch? I'm sure you watched, right?
Oh God, I watched everything and then some. I was scouting other teams.
That's
I'm
so
like,
funny.
hey girls, what are we doing? We're not trying to dump the puck right now. Let's keep it. This team does this and this.
Were you texting them to tell them hey, this is what I saw when I was watching, whatever team?
Yeah, I would text a few of the girls, the ones who, weren't, nervous to talk to me. And then I obviously would text coach, the assistant, and our GM, all the same thing.
You're like, you need to pull the goalie right now. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to put 6 people
I'm watching.
I'm watching. I mean,
I had a moment. Yeah, I had a moment like that. Right? I would see the camera view, and I see Nate, our GM, standing down there. I'd be like, Nate, what is going on? What are you doing? Get them to like do this. And I'm surprised he didn't turn around and just look at the camera and like
just like flip the
it off.
bird.
But, yeah.
He's too nice. He's too nice.
It was
yeah.
painful for me to watch the Beauts in Lake Placid because the defensive game was so strong. CJ was saving so like defensive plays everywhere, but they just like couldn't put the puck in the net. It just was impossible to put the puck in the net, and you know, that's the person who does it right here. Puts the puck in the net.
It hurt me as much as it hurt you. But again, like even if I didn't score the whole tournament, just to be able to like set some other people up would have been awesome. But
yeah,
it's fine. Taking that energy into the next season here.
Probably better for your health and like mental well-being though that you weren't there, because it kind of was a debacle. There was some stuff that went down. But you know, the NWHL isn't really unfamiliar with controversy like this. As you know, like there was a huge rift back in the day. The PWHPA, NWHL split. And you know, and the way the world works, it's suddenly like you're either team NWHL or you're team PWHPA, and the other person thinks the other person's a bad guy. But like at the end of the day, it's like everyone has their ideas of how to grow the women's game, and that just disagrees on the methods. So you were there, you saw the reality of it. What was that like for you when the league was splitting off and it seemed like things were uncertain?
You know what? I mean, I'm always one just to remain positive, and with a lot of just being able to like kind of watch it unfold. It was awkward. It was really awkward, especially for a lot of the girls who have put so much time and effort into growing this particular league. But again, I don't. Again, my personal view is like I don't sit here and think like the PWHPA is the enemy or anything like that. But like you just said, they're just growing the game in a different way. And for me, because I have put so much time and effort into this league, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm going to be. And there's a lot of things that the Beauts and the Riveters don't get along with. But if there's one thing I can get along with Madison Packer about, it's this league. So I'll say that.
Do you feel like you've seen a lot of change over the seasons that you've been in the league?
Yeah, I have. And I've actually seen where girls have gone to the PWHPA or they've gone to Europe and they've actually come back because they're like, yeah, it's not the same. And I'll just leave it at that. This league gives you the opportunity to see different places, play different teams, and again, the talent is showcased the way I believe it should be. Simple as that.
Were you approached to leave with, you know, because they took a certain player, right? Like they tried to take certain players with them, and I would assume you fell into that category. Were you approached by anyone?
More than one person actually about it, and at the time I was like, oh yeah, this sounds great, you know, kind of being naive and not really knowing fully to what extent that league was going to provide to me personally. It became very apparent very quickly that it wasn't, you know, and this is just my experience, it wasn't for this league, it was for a particular type of athlete, I'm gonna say. So yeah, I mean, where I'm at is awesome, and I'm glad that I didn't go and be a part of that just because it didn't work out for me. Other people can go try it out, see how they like it, and do what's best for them. But as far as I'm concerned, I wasn't gonna do that.
Yeah, it was hard because I know a lot of people were told different things, right, to get them to join the league, and some of those things happened. And some of them didn't happen. But to be fair, in the NWHL, some of the things that the players were told in the beginning didn't happen either. Like, It's not like they were, you know, I'm not saying they were intentionally misleading anybody, but it must have been quite a spiel in order to get so many players to jump ship. And I just think it's so interesting to think of. And, like, what you don't have to share this if you don't want to, but what were some of the things that you were told was going to happen?
What do I remember? It happened. Sponsorships, high-end equipment, high-end this, that, and the other, and I mean anything that would typically want to get somebody to go there. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it all sounds like pretty sick. But then again, you got the NWHL with like these sponsorships and all, like, pretty much like if you go in and you text your GM, hey, like I need whatever, this pair of skates or whatever, they'll look after you, at least in my experience. So again, it's kind of what you're into, I guess.
It's just kind of like what you're into. I don't know if you're into kind of weird things you're into, but got something for everybody.
Do you think that now, so Danny stepped away from the league, and I know there was a lot of discourse, and like obviously we only know what we think we know about whether or not Danny being there had anything to do with people wanting to leave. But do you think that with her having stepped away and like sort of a new era of like leadership in the league, do you think that will make any difference in terms of decisions that like players are making about where they want to play?
I mean, I'm gonna say no. I don't think that, well, I kind of see where you're going with that. There's been I've heard a lot of things that, well, you know, Danny this, Danny that, that's why I'm going to PWHPA. But I don't think her stepping away had anything to do with allowing other players to return back to the league.
Yeah.
I've had nothing but really good experiences with Danny. Again, I wasn't there for the very first season of the league and whatever went down there, but she's done an amazing job being able to build this league up to where it has been, and then seeing that, you know, maybe there is a better somebody better for that position for her to step away and still help, but in a different way. I think that takes a special person, and she still has the highest respect from me.
For sure. A couple more questions before we wrap up. You know, this is a short form talk show. We got to make sure people's attentions don't wander.
Right.
Always got to keep people on their toes. So I have a question. I'm going to steal a good question, Eleni. I'm sorry. I'm stealing the good one.
Don't worry about it.
I'm stealing the good question. You wrote it down, but I'm taking it.
It's probably not mine.
In your opinion, so you have a lot of experiences in life, right? You're one of the most respected people in the league. You've had all these experiences. You're trusted. You're respected. Younger players go to you. So, in your expertise, is cereal a soup? Why or why not?
Is cereal soup? Absolutely not. Cereal is just cereal. I think soup has it has to be like super hot, and it has to like burn your tongue, to get that effect. And it's like a chill, you know, you get like the chills, you don't get like heat rash.
I think that's a great.
Oh, now you're gonna say, oh well, what about oatmeal? Oatmeal is a cereal. It's not.
Well, I don't think oatmeal is a cereal. I think actually you could argue that oatmeal is closer to being a soup than it is to being a cereal if we're gonna classify.
Thank you.
I'm not offended by the idea of oatmeal being soup, but I feel like that's gonna be a minority opinion, and I'm gonna get flamed.
So if you're watching this right now and you're equally as flabbergasted by Taylor's definition of soup as I am, make sure you let her know on Twitter, because I will not let this stand. So Taylor,
I'm team soup is hot. That's my.
There's cold soup.
Yeah, same.
It's not soup. You're calling it soup, but it's not soup. Gazpacho? I know you're talking about gazpacho, right? That's what you're talking about. That's not soup.
The name of it.
It's like, I mean, then you're telling me that hummus is soup. Like,
Okay.
it's the same
How about this? Smart ones.
Hummus is not soup.
Hummus is not soup, but
we can all agree on that.
Cold soup, is it still soup then?
No, it's cereal.
It's not soup if it's cold. So like if you have two pieces of bread and you have cold cuts and you haven't put them together yet, it's not a sandwich, it's ingredients. Cold soup without being heated up is soup ingredients.
This is not
I'm
true.
going
This
with
is
Eleni.
so
I'm piggybacking with
wrong.
her.
I can't. We have to go. We have to leave. Taylor, where can people find you on social media or whatever?
They can find me on Twitter at Accursi6, and they can find me on Instagram at Curzi.
Curzy.
At Curzi.
Curzy. Eleni, do you have any further questions that won't infuriate me?
No, I think I'm good. I think we should end it on that note. I feel
Okay,
good about it.
perfect. Well, Taylor, thank you so much for joining us. You're great at hockey. Your soup opinions are trash. We really look forward to you bringing that energy from, missed out in Lake Placid to this season. Go Beauts! Go Beauts!
Go Beauts.
Go Beauts.
And that's all we have for you this week, guys. Thanks for joining us on Locker Room. You can follow us on Twitter at Locker Room Talk X or on YouTube at The Ice Garden. And please comment below and let us know your soup takes. It's really important. We're going to conduct a very scientific study of, what people in women's hockey think about soup. I think this is really going to change some minds and grow the game.
We're doing, work that has never been done here before, and everyone who's tuned in is helping us accomplish that mission. Let's talk about soup, baby.
It's time to talk about soup. #grow the game. Thank you for joining us.